Hello and welcome to back to the bottom of the New Londo ruins. This time with actual English stuff. This is our Halloween episode, I guess, just like last year. So let's start pillaging and killing left and right because we have a job to do here in this place.
All that fun
I've got
stuff.
I've
Yes,
got the
please.
Doctor Sleep Blu-ray case in my view, so that could be Halloweeny enough for decoration.
Well, by the time we're doing recording this, we're already done the movie. Actually, we are just done it. All right. If you don't remember, the enemies on top were the ghosts, but the ones we are able to find here are kind of different. Fuck, I forgot that you find these two here.
Hello, ladies.
Get out! Get out! There we go.
Hey, we live here too, arsehole!
Jesus
You're the
Christ.
one with the
Oh.
problem.
Anyway, there you go. What were you doing here? Throwing up? Alright. Cracked red eye orb. These are items that are used to invade. Again, saving that for the actual PvP potential episode. There you go. The enemy that we faced last time was this. There you go, Dark Wraith. These ones are servants that love to invade our world as Red Speed. Okay, I guess the ragdoll is not cooperating well today. Are you? Alright then. What is this? Fallout 76? Such
I hope
original.
not.
Alright, no, this is not the right way. But no, basically, Dire Wraiths, these are servants that love to invade our worlds, and when we do, we are surrounded by a red aura, menacing, contrast to the blue one given by instead the service of a dark moon, which I mentioned a couple of parts ago, tied to Gwendolyn. Alright, I think we should actually get up the stairs here, because time to face instead the third type of enemy you can find here, the Mass of Souls. Although in this case it's best to just bait it, because this room is a trap device for you in order to lure you in and then ambush you with a couple of Dark Wraith along the Mass of Souls. So there you go, just a couple of White Hunters here, and there you go. Now, this enemy is a tricky son of a bitch because it can produce a different kind of weapon, like Spit. There you go, the bomb soul enemies, meaning that they can be very dangerous towards you. There we go, and of course he's immune to them. He actually has he can spit normal stuff at you, which corrodes your weapon too, or he can produce a blade. There we go, to try a mini attack. Otherwise, it is very slow and very easy to do. The advantage is that these particular enemies do not respawn, so even if we get stuck, we are actually able to pass through them. Alright. It is so dark here. Jesus.
Alright,
No,
Teo,
in the meantime, yes.
in the last part, did I mention anything about me starting watching the One Piece anime?
I think so. Something about that. But you made progress from there, if I recall correctly.
A little bit. I haven't watched it in a while because I've been busy with other things. Basically, I got up to the bit where Usopp joins the crew.
After Captain Kuro, yeah.
Yeah. In addition to watching, One Piece, the unbutchered version.
Yeah.
I have also been watching a few clips on the 4Kids one, mainly because enough time's passed, and I wasn't even watching the show at that point anyway, so I figured it'd be good for a laugh. Why not?
Why not?
And indeed, it is. From the incredibly corny yet typically for kidsy catchy rap to all the weird goofy voices except for Zolo's.
That's Zoro, Jesus.
Well, Teo. To be fair, apparently the whole Zolo thing was a copyright issue.
Right, because the name was ideally similar to Zorro, but Oda wanted to be cute like that. It'd be just I guess we just had a problem. So does the new dub actually calls him Zoro?
Yeah.
All right then.
Well, new as in 2008. But,
Yeah, the follow-up from the Poor Kids dub.
And also, I even especially enjoy Sanji's bizarre Brooklyn speak.
Just like Joy.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd say more like a combination of Joey and Tristan's old Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh
voice.
god, it's the worst.
That sounds hideous.
Yeah. Hey guys, I made us our supper.
Oh Jesus! Oh no!
Okay,
If you like that kind of weird accents out of nowhere, you really should try watching at least clips of the Singapore dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Seriously, Yugi Bear sounds like a surfer, dude. It's like,
and even
Yugi!
Well, like
even
Hunter and Reignited.
another bizarre thing that the 4Kids version did was in its attempt to try and remove death from the show.
All right, you told like the jail thing.
Yeah, it also unintentionally makes it come off as even worse. Like instead of Nami's mom, I guess, instead of her being shot, she gets thrown into the dungeon.
Didn't you say? Well, actually, I remember one of the major screens that we actually altered had a character replacing a gun that's pointing towards the head
with a spring cannon. and all the guns got replaced by squirt guns.
Yeah.
There was even another attempt to remove death, which ended up coming off as even more horrifying in hindsight. Apparently, there was a friend of Zolo Rose, who apparently fell down the stairs and died in the original version. In the 4Kids one, they had it so that evil friends of a guy that she'd beaten crippled her for life.
Oh, jeez. There
because,
you go.
That's a lot softer than death.
Yeah.
What we got in the chest was the very large Ember, which allows a normal weapon to ascend to its maximum capacity of plus 15. It's not really useful for us, but if you want to, build up a weapon that, without giving it particular magical abilities, just so it can be effective against pretty much everything without any particular bonus, that's, the ticket. You need to give it to Andre Lastora, the blacksmith. Near Sense Fortress. Go on, Reeves.
Also, there was the amazing on-screen transition between the 4Kids dub and the Funimation one.
Which I guess it was as subtle as basically a trade in your face.
Okay, what happened was 4Kids gave up the license in late 2006, although they still premiered new episodes under their wing until around September 2007.
Was One Piece the theme that essentially killed them in the end?
No, but it didn't help. So what happened was, the last episode of theirs was in late September, where a ship fell onto them.
Which I think it's around the Skypiea arc, if I
think so.
correctly.
I don't know. I haven't got that far in the actual anime.
Yeah, you're still very far.
Yeah. But then the very next week, not even like a few months, 1 week later, the Funimation dub started. I mean, it was still broadcast on the same channel, Cartoon Network, as the 4Kids one. And there were a couple of things they kept similar from the 4Kids version for consistency. Like they still called Zoro, Zolo, and Ace Trace. But other than that, it was such a bizarre change. Like, all of a sudden, bam! The theme song was no longer the rap. It was one of the Japanese songs. Even the score itself was different. It went from the music never shutting up, as 4Kids music typically did, to just using the Japanese soundtrack.
Of course.
And obviously the voices suddenly shifted. Like, suddenly Usopp no longer... Sorry, not Usopp, sorry, I keep getting the characters mixed up. Sanji no longer spoke like a Brooklyn guy.
Ooh, that's a terrible goal. Alright, you may notice that I...
and all
Sorry.
sorts of other issues. No,
You may
not issues,
notice-
actually, improvements.
You may have noticed that I have changed into cosplaying as Havel the Rock here. The reason is that it's probably the best build that we can use for this boss right now, and we can have an help from the witch Beatrice, the girl who helped us against the Moonlight Butterfly. So why not? Let's bring her to the party. Why not? Especially because the upcoming boss is, can be potentially tough. I honestly don't know if he'll be able to beat it first try.
So yeah,
Alright,
basically
here we go.
overall, from what I could tell of the 4Kids One Piece dub, it was basically just a simple case of the show being incompatible
Oh.
with what they were doing. Because
Alright, let's...
apparently
Sorry,
they didn't
go on.
even apparently 4Kids didn't even want One Piece. It's just Toei forced it onto them with a package deal.
Well, remember, the manga was like the top tier time on tip on Shonen Jump. It's pretty much clear that they wanted to sell this thing to the West as much as possible. Anyway, for now, let's just follow the stairs because, the boss doesn't seem to be here, so where
Going
could
downstairs
it be?
always seems to result in good things in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Especially from going from right to left. Again, symbolism and such. Oh, but what's this? It seems that the stairs have been interrupted. Now, I have equipped the Ring of the Covenant of Artorias, which allows you to go into the abyss. So, care to take a leap of faith? Well, here we go. Don't be slow. Whee! If you don't have the ring, by the way, that's an insta kill. It counts as as a potential bonus beat. Bullshit. And now the race starts beginning. Basically, this boss is basically a DPS check. You need to defeat them as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we will start multiplying and potentially give you a nightmare. Thankfully, the able build basically allows us to, there we go, have a severe resistance towards their magical attacks. Fuck!
In fact, there's actually a Twitter account that presents clips of the 4Kids dub out of context.
I think Twitter accounts presenting stuff out of context are like the norm these days, which,
Oh,
to be fair,
I love them.
good source of humor, like fast pace and everything.
In fact, Shiori and
Yes.
Tio, I guess.
There we go.
Interested. Do you want to watch a couple after we're done here?
Sorry, Drips, I'm
Oh.
kinda busy trying not to die.
I meant afterwards.
well, if you don't die, then you can watch stuff.
That's very assuring.
Try not to die.
I recommend you to watch this part of Simpos because the music for this boss fight is absolutely haunting for how fast-paced and basically the music is telling you also to fuck up, to hurry the fuck up, dipshit.
I remember.
All right, 2 to go. Go on.
I remember for the season finale of Sailor Moon, like Deke tried to do the whole they were just knocked out or were taken to the dungeon thing when the girls clearly died. It's
The
like,
spirit was zapped to the dungeon.
So, like, what excuse did they pull out? Because I know that it's like a legendary type of censorship in all part of the world. So, what kind of censorship did they use for Haruka and Michiru?
oh boy, I love talking about this.
Like, I know that at least for one version they're treated like as cousins or
Yes,
something.
but the thing is, do you know what the best? That's the Deke version, and you know what the best part about it is?
Wow.
They hardly altered any of the animation.
So basically,
So it comes
instead-
off as like incest is somehow better than lesbians.
Yeah. Again, basically, incest is incest for them. Fantastic.
Yeah, basically.
It's good they have their priorities straight, like the Lannister.
Yeah, and like I think they kept the flashback scene where like it isn't clear at the time,
Was
but
there-
they're talking about each other to Usagi, and there's a scene where like they kiss like in a flashback, but they didn't. If they kept it, they didn't change Haruka's appearance at all, and just called her Brad. And-
Anyway, hold on. Alright, nailed it. We managed to... Congratulations, we have managed to get the first of the Great Lord Souls. Let me actually give it a look at the... Well, there's text. Soul of one of the 4 kings who fell to the dark. A fragment of a Lord's soul discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Lord Gwyn recognized the foresight of these four great lords of New Londo and granted them the ranks and the fragments of a great soul. Although this is not a full Lord soul, it can still satiate the Lord vessel. So one down, 3 to go. I'm actually surprised we managed to pull this through. And there's a convenient boss fireplace here. That's nice. This is good. Alright, let me just first warp back to the Firing Shrine. Basically, after you defeat each one of the Great Lords, you will actually get a bonfire and then teleported there. Alright, we still actually have the unfinished business with Seath the Scaleless, but gonna be honest, I'm not sure if we're still in the proper condition to beat it. Let me put it back here. So, in the meantime, let me just ask this question. This is another question, so Dibs. In the meantime, while I'm preparing and everything, do you mind getting the dice generator like last time? You can usually find them on Google.
Okay.
You can still roll
One,
for
two?
Shiroi. Oh, okay, sure, go ahead.
No, that's alright, I've got it.
Alright, I got it.
Dice roller.
Go ahead, dice roll. Gauntlets and the sorcerers. There we go.
So what, if it's like an odd or even number?
Go for a D20.
What does that mean?
A dice with 20 possibilities, you know, from 1 to 20.
Alright, well, it wasn't on the website I went to, but I'll give it a... It should be here. Here we are, roll a d20.
There we go. Alright, don't do this just now, because it's about time for another question. Because it will this time will actually impact potentially how we progress things. It will not like speed things up super, but it will, you know, decide if I have to do something off screen to allow an alternate path to happen. So, on screen, like before, you will see a magical number right about now. There we go. This is the number that the two have to reach. Once again, we will have a bonus granted, but we will still have to roll the dice. Alright, so Dweebs.
Yeah?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know, let me actually put it up the scenario while I'm at it. About the character of Solaire. Solaire, so far, has been a faithful companion and a very helpful ally. He has showed up talking to how to do properly help for boss fight. He himself has showed up multiple times, and we really don't have a quarrel with him. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you actually, you know, like him?
7.
Alright, what about you, Shiroi?
6 or 7 also.
I'm gonna give it a 7 as well. Alright, now it's time for the rolling. Lips, go ahead.
6.
Alright, what about you, Shiroi?
4.
5.
4. Alright. 10, 17, 24. By a minimal amount, you guys have managed to do it. Alright. Here's what's gonna happen. Not in this part immediately, but at least in between, and we'll allow in the next part. Thanks to your enjoyment, I guess, I will be able to provide an opening, an alternate path, that potentially may allow Solaire to live instead of dying. But, you know, I will explain more in due time. For the time being, I don't think we haven't spent too much time, so let's try another go at Seath the Scaleless. Why not? Go on in the meantime, Shiri, what you were saying.
I don't think I was actually saying. Oh no, I know it's a bit
how
too
do
bright.
I meet
For,
you?
it's a bit too bright for this game right now.
There we go.
Still too bright.
No. I thought you were keep mentioning again what other companies were doing to Haruka and Michiru for Sailor Moon.
I think they're the only ones, like, because I'm not familiar with, because there was another dub back in the day, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But Deke is the only one, I think, with...
That has been dickish about it.
Yeah, Deke's been Dick, so...
But well, okay. Like I don't know that much about. Do recent releases actually, not censor the relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And
actually.
I think we even got stars in English, which is something that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think you
Except
did
here in
mention it.
Britain.
On the
Because
beat 'em
there
up.
was no way Deke was going to be able to censor that.
Yeah, like
No excuses can be made for what
so
happens
much,
in that series.
so much mental gymnastic and lots of editing.
They didn't die, they just faded out of existence and
Yeah, they
went to another
fainted.
dimension.
Yeah, let's go with that. Uh, there we go. Alright, he was hoping that I remember the correct path.
Also, in terms of other anime that I've been watching recently.
Go on. Have you continued
also-
My Hero Macarena?
What? Sorry.
My Hero Academia, I was making a joke.
Macadamia nut.
Yes.
Again, it's only the first few episodes, and again, I've been busy. I've watched the first few episodes of Outlaw Star,
Alright, you did mention about it.
where for those who don't know, Outlaw Star is basically a show where by trying to make the bunch of bounty hunters are trying to make ends meet by doing typical bounty hunter stuff. And I've gotten to the episode that introduces a very quirky character.
The elf with the fluffy ears.
Yes, Aisha, I think she's called.
Aisha Tyler, yes.
Aisha Tyler. And basically, from what I can tell, her gimmick is, I love being warrior, but
Come on,
also, also fun fact, her English voice actress is now a Canadian MP.
That's interesting.
Career shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from screaming anime girl to member of parliament.
I mean, why not? Fuck,
Yeah.
just did that.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like you guys said, though, it is quite a shift.
There we go. Oof. There we go. Oof.
Enough
It
screaming
was,
in anime, time to scream at real people.
Yes. Well, to be fair, from what I know, the Canadian Parliament is pretty chill in general. Not in a sense of, general attitude, but more like how they handle things.
Oh, around here they just yell.
I mean, it is. I mean, it is. I mean, it is interesting how basically the Canadian government is kind of similar to ours.
I mean, it was part of a Commonwealth in some capacity, wasn't it?
Yeah. The Queen's the Queen's their monarch.
Fuck! That's unfortunate. Here we go.
Are those clams?
Yes, man-eater clams to be precise. After killing them, you noticed potentially for the model that they that they possess not teeth but actual human fingers that we use.
Oh, that's what those are?
Yeah.
I thought they were like
especially
spikes or really
those.
thick hairs or something.
Yeah. One would think like that too, like or claws, but no, they're actually human fingers.
Lovely.
They are actually good for dropping I mentioned this a couple of parts ago, but they are good for dropping anti-curse stones and twinkling titanites, which are really useful to level up special weapons. So basically, if you want to farm, those particular items, that one is one of the better spots. There is another, but we're not there yet. It's actually an optional area that we really don't have much interest to go through, but we might actually dedicate a part to showcase how to arrive it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention another
Go
rather
on.
infamous change 4Kids did to One Piece. You know how Sarji has his cigarettes?
Yeah, we changed to a lollipop.
They changed it to a lollipop.
That's classic censorship. I think there was one episode of the Tweety and Sylvester cartoon that poked fun at that by having a parody of the character of Kojak. Because you don't know, typical hardball detective and smoked a lot in his original show. So when we had a parody of that, he was actually using a lollipop instead.
And yeah, it got to the point where when Funimation started their run by when they had to pick up when 4Kids left off in the broadcast version, they just said fuck it and have him not have anything at all.
I mean, why not? I guess it's better than just, renaming to something that it makes no sense at all.
Although it is a bit strange how can you imagine if you were a kid watching the 4Kids dub and then all of a sudden, wait, why does he sound different and how come he's not sucking a lollipop anymore?
I kind of got that problem. I think I mentioned it somewhere else, but just in case.
Also, I mean, I get they wanted consistency, but changing the voices in the span of 1 week like that,
I kind of got the same.
Consistency out the window.
I kind of got the same problem for the Italian dub because the voice of Rufy kind of got changed over from one episode to another in the middle of Vienna's lobby arc, an arc that you were very far from.
I mean, at least the 4Kids Funimation transition happened at the end of an arc,
and it was drastically different as well. Like, don't get me wrong, the voice actor it was before was not like a 10 out of 10 one, but I do believe it gave quite the charm to the character. The new one what we got is the guy that I keep mentioning, and the guy that, for example, is the current Italian voice actor for Sonic. Basically, sheer Italian Giovannian. So
Okay.
That lovely fellow. To be honest, I'm pretty sure he's a chill person, and there are actually a couple of roles that he did that are actually fine, like Ezio Auditore for Assassin's Creed 2 and other appearances. So there is that. It's simply put, it's just that his voice most of the time does not fit the role that he's given.
It's a bit weird though. So basically, too, what you're saying is, Toei, basically, it's fine when Italy has a guy voicing Luffy. And yet when it comes to English, Toei and Oda said, no, you got to have it voiced by a woman.
I don't know actually how it works. Maybe it's part of the negotiations and stuff like that. Could be possible. One party is pushing and another.
Well, apparently Apparently it is both a Toei and an Oda.
No. What I mean is that, for example, for the English branch that we want to license the dub, they impose that, and the English branch does not oppose resistance, but the Italian one actually, starts taking their own condition, and they're like, oh, it's my way or the highway, stuff like that. I don't know.
Maybe they're
just guessing.
Maybe they could be assuming regional tastes in voices.
And also
that too, like focus groups testing.
Also, Funimation's reputation is that they want to be as accurate as possible to the original version.
I just thought.
I mean, I kind of don't understand that because the English dub of DBZ from Funimation still applies a lot of changes in tone for the character. Seriously, okay. Goku is not the worst English voice that I heard for Funimation, but for example, Piccolo is completely different. I know it is Chris Abad and a bunch of others which are quite famous, good roles and everything. It's just that it feels so wrong hearing those kind of voices from their characters.
Although, an interesting thing though, I did find out that in the recent the recent one, Super, there is a character that's actually voiced by the guy who played
Piccolo in the Dragon Ball Evolution. Yeah, I mean, casting Zamasu, and yeah, Pedro did mention in another place, but yeah, it's one of the worst villains that the franchise had. It's fitting. It really is fitting.
I guess maybe James Masters wanted to redeem himself, how the actress who played Princess Yue in the live-action Last Airbender movie played another character in Legend of Korra.
I guess. Okay, forgot to change the equipment before starting the fight, which might bite back us in the ass if we start getting afflicted by the curse.
Although I wonder how did Funimation get him though? I mean, he's a more famous TV actor, and I don't think he lives in Texas. So.
I guess they knew about his status and they just wanted to, being cast for a guy. Like, what is his career been up to up before Super?
Again, mainly TV.
I just thought of another one for Sailor Moon
Go on.
that was quite baffling as well, because, like, for those who don't know, Uranus and Neptune aren't the only LGBT relationship in the show. There's actually quite a lot of that stuff in the show. Two of Queen Beryl's henchmen, they were also a couple, two guys.
Oh, the twins?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry, go on, sorry.
No, not the twins, but they're both quite effeminate, so they just gave a female voice to one of them
Oh,
in the dub, so they could keep the relationship.
Dare I ask which dub?
The deep one.
Oh, yeah,
if I didn't smash, I forgot to smash the crystal first.
Well, I was gonna say what I was gonna say what Vismedia doing it now.
No, Viz Media are fine from what I know. I haven't actually seen the new dub yet.
I mean, I would get the show, but again, like I said before, it hasn't been licensed here in Britain since the mid-2000s, and I'm not sure how much trouble it would be just importing an Australian Blu-ray. Is that how you got yours?
No, I've told you before how I watched anime the same way a lot of people did in the mid-2000s to
Not at all.
Sorry, what?
Oh.
No, internet.
Lol. Fuck. Fuck.
And then there's the usual stuff like unnecessary Americanization of everything.
Of course. See this rice bowl? Now it's a burger, and now it's a cheeseburger.
I never bought the rice ball being a donut thing. Like, even as a kid, I never bought that.
Although, believe it or not, actually, there was a scene in One Piece, the 4Kids one, where they actually kept the rice balls.
I'm pretty sure a child isn't going to be baffled by the concept of rice.
No, seriously, I mean, they kept it as a rice ball and even called it that, so why did they change it in their other dubs then?
I can understand them, like, because they were trying to, like, one change I could understand is, because the show being heavily marketed towards children, was one of the early episodes where Usagi gets wasted and she's like 13.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
Like she's at a ball. She's at a ball, and she gets a wee bit drunk.
The tipsy.
Well, that's not gonna fly around here, is it?
Yeah, that's one
What's
thing.
the
It's
age
like, okay.
for drinking? Remind me again.
In Japan,
Well, for the UK.
18.
Okay.
It's
kinda the same
21 in
year.
America, I think.
Fuck.
Oh,
And it's 20 in Japan. Right, wait a minute. So around here in Britain, you can buy a lottery ticket before getting drunk.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it.
Bizarre.
Oof. Alright, we're getting nowhere with this. What's the timer?
We've been recording for the past 34 minutes.
Alright, I guess it's a good time to instead try to, the thing that I mentioned before, might as well. Let's go back to the Daughter of Chaos. There we go. And let's venture towards the optional dungeon. We might just reach it instead of properly seeing how it is. There's not much in it. It's more about the journey, not the destination. It's literally one of those things. But it's a cool Easter egg that not many people found, and there's no real hint towards going there. So, like, I can only imagine how it must have been for the first people who discovered it. Alright, so first we need to get back into the swamp towards the Shrek enemies with the boulders. So just like, I love how the character just almost limps when he has to run. But there we go.
here's a list if you're interested.
Alright.
And I like that they did include just the fact that Stars wasn't released at all. So this is all deep
Alright.
stuff, I think, going by what I've read.
What we need to do is to hug the right wall here. Yes, yes, I'm blacking Blighttown. There we go. I think there are a bunch of other ogres there. Yeah, there you go. Ignore them. There we go. And I think it works for the better because we have someone to talk with around here, I think. First of all, let's dispatch these enemies. Ah, the mosquitoes. Ah. Fuck. Great hitbox. There we go. I don't think I show. No, I think I did show potentially the enemy, but might as well give it another look here. Leeches.
Glitches.
Leeches, dwarves, and not the
Oh,
fruit.
favorite.
Thankfully, they don't seem to have a grab attack. At first, I thought they would have, and I was like, oh no. But no, they're actually that merciful. So there's that. Alright, what we need to do is to still hug the right wall. Yeah, there he is. Our good old Onion Knight is taking a chill there, I guess. He's still sleeping. Dude,
Wake up!
he's sleeping also, like, standing. Like, jeez.
Also,
Oh,
how can
there we
you
are.
sleep anywhere out in the open in this world?
Oh, apparently he has exhausted his resource of musk, the one that you need to cure yourself from poison. Well, so sorry. Sure, let's give him some.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yay.
This Knight of Katarina expresses his deepest gratitude. I shall not forget this.
Yeah, this progresses again more of his side quest. And he gives us as a reward his shield, actually. Well, a copy of his shield.
Well, our fates do seem entwined, don't they? Perhaps this too is the will of all.
Who knows?
The poison swamp.
Well, don't worry, we'll see him again after this. There we go. What I need to do is... Oh, right, I forgot there's an infestation of leeches here. There we go. What I need to do is to find the proper entrance towards the proper dungeon. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, this should be it. Yes, there we go. Alright. We thankfully were about to actually leave the swamp behind us. Now, what's come after it is not as equally as dickish, but it could be potentially.
Whatever it is, I
there's
probably prefer it over leeches.
Yes, it is. Alright, there's a plank shield, kind of like a troll, but if you gently poke... I said... Wait.
Gently poke it.
There we go. There's an
Gently
invisible wall
poke it!
that gives you an actual treasure. What is it?
Your death?
Twin humanity. No mimic, thankfully, this time around. But if you're really curious and want to gently poke behind it as well, there's another one that actually leads your way. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's the Great Hollow. I know what you're thinking. This kind of, protection might be something that, like, you shouldn't really peek into it. So who knows? Let's see what this place is made of. There we go.
Yeah,
This
let's just
place
stop
is
poking the wall, see what happens.
Similar to... Oh, there we go, there's a bonfire. It's really recommended to do this after you have acquired lore vessels so you can teleport. There you go. And even if worst comes worst, we're already here, so we might potentially start next part from here. This is a vertical dungeon, just like Blighttown, but as you may notice, we're basically following on the roots of a great tree. Actually, these are not branches, but actual roots. So we need to find the proper correct passage amongst these in order to reach the bottom. But think about this: we have braved through the swamps. The depths, which were the sewers, then the swamps, which are already at the bottom, and now there's something that goes even beyond. Like, what could be at the bottom of this? This also helps reinforcing with the connection between the areas because, again, thanks to how they are planned, the areas that one player may actually understand correctly what the planimetry of a place might be. But this kind of throws everything off the roof because you're really going out of your way to go down with this particular dungeon. So at least there's a bit of curiosity about where to go. All right, let me try instead do this. No, fuck!
Oh.
Hey, Shiri.
Yes.
Be careful not to fall.
You know how we did when we did Doctor Sleep just yesterday.
Yes.
BBC Two was showing The Shining right now.
Oh.
It's kind of funny. One of my friends actually talked with her about it, and she told me that they just had brought up Doctor Sleep today in their conversation, and they were going to watch it later today. So there's that too. Cosmic coincidences and all.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can drop from here, maybe.
But if you want the Cliff Notes version, we all really enjoyed.
But the ending was depressing.
Yeah. Even Pedro enjoyed it, and considering Pedro is a huge fan of the Kubrick movie, I'd imagine he'd be the more wary of a sequel to it.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, aside from 2010, I don't remember any particular Kubrick movie that got a sequel, like, say, Eyes Wide Shut or Spartacus, so there's that.
Could you imagine Eyes Wide Shut getting a sequel?
Alright, be careful, because the enemy in this area are mostly the basilisk, the guys who love to spit the smoke on you and give you the curse debuff.
Spitting is rude.
It's not even like spit, it's like smoke or something. Stop vaping. See, this is why it's bad for you.
Okay, carrying on the theme of Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, that too. It was the true message all along.
Don't
Play
vape
Dark
and don't
Souls.
be a hippie.
Wow, what's the message? Play Dark Souls.
Well, that too. To be fair, Dweebs, one of the best memes that I've seen from the magical events of this year was basically one of the edits with from Todd Howard's interviews that was like, since everyone has to go home, fuck, no!
No, Judy.
Was basically saying, since everyone has to stay home, I recommend for them to play Skyrim, since it's very good for passing the time.
I'm probably gonna say Fallout 76.
Well, it could be, but you have to understand that Todd Howard memes are mostly associated with him trying to sell you the nth port of Skyrim. So just watch as there's gonna be a PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Play Skyrim in next gen.
Well, to be fair, the PS4 version are amongst the ones that are supposedly compatible, at least for the PS5. So there is that.
Well, that might end up being the last bit of Bethesda media anyone.
Possible. Phil Spencer has come out recently in an interview and saying that they don't want to gatekeep entirely, other consoles from Bethesda games, but they basically made it clear that I've been cursed. They made it clear that they have bought Bethesda for a reason. So.
Well, I mean, they own it, so they could do what they want. Well, not yet, but because the deal wasn't cleared
Again,
through all proper
there you go.
channels
While
yet,
cursed, your HP is all. The lifting the curse requires a purging stone or the aid of a healer in New Londo, which is the guy that I talked about.
but
Thankfully,
when they're able to, they can do whatever they want.
Thankfully, I already have plenty of the curse removal stone, the purging stones, thanks to the clans that we have, killed in the crystal caves. Meaning that we are able to tank through these potentially. It's what made the basilisk the deadliest enemy in the early game because by the time you reach the depths, you really did not have any practical means of curing the curse debuff, meaning that you could potentially gambite your entire run for a long time. Actually, TV Tropes describes it the best way. Potentially removing the curse debuff can become a quest in itself. There we go. Ninja rolling. Alright, let's see where to drop next, because I seem to have a bit of a problem of where exactly land. Let's see here. Alright. I could try, but no. I tried before, but we fell. I know that there are actually multiple correct paths potentially. It's just a matter of reaching the more favorable one.
Do you want
Go on,
to check
dude.
to you?
Go on.
We're at 47 minutes.
Alright, the next time we die, unless we found the bottom before, next time we die, it's the good one.
Next
stop.
time we die, I'm not sure I want to be here anymore.
This is Dark Souls to Wims.
Yeah, you knew what you signed for.
It's the
I
Dark
thought-
Souls
I
of
thought-
Dark Souls.
Wait, I got. No, wait,
There we
wait,
go.
no, wait. No. Maybe this is like 4 Kids. Instead of dying, I'm gonna go to the Shadow Realm.
Can you even imagine what kind of monster the 4 Kids version of Dark Souls could be?
They won't
Fuck,
call
at
it
least you
Dark
have it.
Souls. They call it Dark Ghosts or something because Souls is too religious.
I guess.
Have they censored the word Souls before?
I
Well,
don't
they
think-
sometimes censor out crosses. Again,
It-
sometimes.
like in Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, the TCG is ripe for this kind of thing, where they replace the cross with the ankh, or like a more mystical symbol, or a relic potentially. But
Again, though, only sometimes.
yeah, sometimes. But I think it's an habit that we got from 4 Kids, because even if 4 Kids doesn't really have control anymore of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, the TCG, which is the trading card game, which is the Western branch of the Duel Monsters card game, decides sometimes to apply some changes to the artworks.
Ever since the early 2010s, the Yu-Gi-Oh anime localization has been done by Konami.
Hmm
Really?
So did they ever explain why we never got the last season of GX?
The same
There we
reason.
Back at the bottom.
Apparently, it's the same reason they shifted from 5Ds before that was finished to Zexal.
Huh.
Apparently, I don't know if it was the same case for both, but at least for 5Ds to Zexal, apparently both Konami and TV Tokyo, who broadcast the anime in Japan,
Yeah.
pressured 4 Kids to just skip the finale of
That's. I mean,
of
okay.
5Ds.
To be fair, 5Ds was not the most ecstatic when it comes to last season, but skipping outright the final bit is kind of a dick move. Alright, we reached the bottom, maybe, but let's go even beyond. There we go. The good news is that we're the home stretch when it comes to climbing down, so we're not even too far off. Either we reach it or die trying and we start back next time. Get back here, you piece of shit. There we go.
It's the bug eyes.
They're there to confound. They're not the real eyes. The real eyes are actually tiny, small. It's similar to a tactic, like say, that a butterfly uses to potentially scare predators. There we go. Oh, how did you die up there? Oh, who cares?
Maybe it fell.
Lots of mushrooms. Oh, it's the mushroom people again! Get back here, you little bastards!
Teo, don't get distracted.
There we go. They also use that very stock sound effect when they died. I remember hearing that from Spyro. I don't know like how they what is associated with, like how we even produced it, this particular tiny howling. Oh, look at that! The parents are here, so let's try to avoid
Oh.
them.
I swear the only sounds in Spyro that weren't just public domain stuff was the music and the voice acting.
I remember 06 used stock sound
here we
effects
go.
that were also in Spyro.
This is it. All right, ladies and gentlemen and dwarves, I welcome you to the Ash Lake.
So why is this where Ash Ketchum did that thing in Pokemon?
This is
2?
bizarre. We're literally at the bottom of the world and it makes no sense. There are all of, remember one thing that it said in the opening, that there were a lot of arch trees? Yeah, that's what it's there right now. There is also a Hydra, but fuck, I'm not gonna fight it now. This is also one of the only few places that actually has a music track without having a boss tied to it. Again, this is super mysterious, and Hidetaka Miyazaki never said anything particular about it or what it means. So it leaves to a lot of fan speculation. So before we conclude the part, let me see if I can sprint and actually show what's at the end of the dungeon. In the next part, we'll start with fighting the Hydra. Don't worry.
Hell Hydra.
Yeah. Another thing that I recommend is to listen again also to the track that is tied to this dungeon, which is actually very beautiful. Fuck! Never mind. I guess we can save that for the next part too. What's at the end of the dungeon?
So basically, the moral of the story is, don't get sidetracked.
All right. This is it for the Halloween episode, I guess. Hopefully we'll see you before Christmas. Who knows? So, from the bottom of the Ash Lake, literally bottom of the barrel for the world. So, have a happy Halloween or whatever you're celebrating.
Happy
and
Spookmas.
yes, until next time. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.